Hi folks, this is Danny at Bradley James Classics, and today I'm bringing you a slightly different vehicle to the norm. We're rather accustomed to selling classic cars. On this occasion we have a classic camper van, and this particular model is a Talbot Express. It was registered in June 1990, a G registration. It's a high quality conversion by Auto Sleeper, and this particular model is called the Harmony. Now I'm going to show you around the whole vehicle, and I'm going to do my absolute best to pass on all the information that the previous owner, who's been lovingly restoring this vehicle since 2019, and only in recent times, I'm making this video in 2025, it's had all that work poured into it. 5 years of restoration and £8,000 spent, plus the price of what the camper was. So this price is quite a good deal compared to what the gentleman has paid making this vehicle as nice as what it is today. It's absolutely loaded with lots and lots of new stuff, and I'm going to do my utmost best to pass on all the information I can. Now, the vehicle itself has got a 2-litre petrol engine. It's got a 5-speed gearbox, and the engine is absolutely sweet and spot on. The gearbox is wonderful, changes up through the gears really well. Refurbishment everywhere. I'm going to pop the hood in a minute and you can see some of the things that have been done. One of the big things about this particular model is that this one has had a brand new steering rack refurbishment, and at that time power steering has been added. So the steering is feather light and very, very easy to maneuver, and the majority of these Talbot Expresses, the Achilles heel with them is the fact that they do not have power steering, and when you're carrying all this extra weight of a camper van, low speed maneuvering is not much fun. Power steering, it's a breeze. Now the vehicle has been fully welded underneath, prop shaft done, brakes renewed throughout, all the brake pipes are done. The vehicle itself, I don't think you'll be requiring to carry out any maintenance for a number of years, purely based on the fact that just so much has been done over the past 5 years. It looks really handsome in this sort of period beige and like burgundy stripes, and being an Auto Sleeper, it was a top quality conversion in its day. Now, so much has been done, I'm really treating this like a memory test to see if I can pass on all the knowledge of what I've been told. But in the time it's taken me to have a quick look around the actual exterior, you'll notice just how bright it is. Now I'm going to get right up and I'm going to show you that all this new paintwork, the grille, the bumper, there's a badge bar, members of the Caravan and Camping Club on the badge bar. Low-level fog lights are fitted. New light units have been fitted as well on this one. All the correct logos are here, Auto Sleeper. And if I walk around here, again, I'm getting in close to show you just how excellent this bodywork is. It's bright and shiny throughout. It's got a new set of tyres all round, including the spare, which lives underneath the bonnet actually, which is a odd place for a spare, very French, but it's there. New steps have been fitted both sides and the back. All the bottom has been fully undersealed with wax oil. The doors are lovely and solid. In fact, the whole bodywork is totally rust-free, totally refurbished. It's got a new Fiamma F45 wind-out awning, and that's a new one. These are rather expensive on their own. You've got a little handle which goes in here and it winds out, and you've got a couple of legs so you can sit underneath there. That either keeps the sun off you, or if the British weather does its usual, it also keeps the rain off you. You've got the extended roof, so you can stand up throughout the whole of the camper van. Big roof, and here that bit here is a omnidirectional aerial, because this even has a television in it, so very, very smart. And it also rises up on a pole. Again, I'll point that out when we're inside. The other lump on the roof you can see is an air light, a skylight I should say, and then you can see there's some ventilation up high as well. And then as we go down here, this little cupboard This is where the loo area is a cassette toilet. All the toilet and shower and sink is all brand new. It's all been fully refurbished, and these bottles are the liquid that's required for that cassette toilet. A nice set of wheel trims. The wheels are actually all painted behind the wheel trims as well. I think I mentioned to you it's all painted underneath. And this is obviously the side that we get in. I'll show you what it's like inside after I've had a little walk around. But as we get to the back, this is a large and again rubber lined step, which makes access into the rear very easy. We'll have a little look in there in a minute. And again, you can just see how bright and shiny the back of this vehicle is. It's been so well built, fully welded underneath, no corrosion whatsoever. A real genuine credit to the previous owner who's lovingly restored this vehicle. A very talented engineer, actually, having discussed all the work, and I'm going to show you everything that's gone into all the huge amount of work that's gone into this. There's box files upon box files of information, drawings, receipts, invoices for all of the parts. And you'll see, I'm just going to pick on one area, and you can just have a look. You can see all these new bits in here. That's a new suspension, that's a new shock absorber. You can see the new brake pipes. You can see everything's been painted. So that's just an example of what it's like on all the corners. Now you've got a water tank in here, and obviously fuel tank, and you've got a wastewater system which goes underneath. There's a blown air heating system that's all brand new and installed. And there is also a new water heater. So there is actually a shower in this van. Usually the smaller vans, you're lucky to get a shower. This one's got a separate bathroom area really, and where it's got a sink, a loo, and electric flushing loo, and then a shower all in one area, which is very generous considering the space of one of these compared to, for example, a large motorhome. So I think hopefully from looking at the walk around, and as I get in close, you'll see just how lovely the condition of this camper is. Lovely bright shiny paintwork everywhere, stone chipped at the bottom, very professional finish indeed. We're going to get in a second, but for example, if I were to start and show you just how lovely that all looks, bearing in mind this has only covered 70,000 miles, so it's pretty low mileage. All the carpets are brand new throughout. Look at a lovely job they've made. All these seat bases, the actual seats themselves, which fold flat, they're on these boxes, and that's all been covered in the same carpet as the rest. And it's all, these are carpet mats, and you can see they're all been edged as well. A really lovely professional job throughout. A total, as I say, a complete credit to the owner who's done such a great job here. Lots of little cubby holes. I think that's actually quite clever where they've got a little T for Talbot. Here's a socket up here, and as we just run through, you can see the dashboard. That's a Blaupomp stereo, and I've noticed you've got Alpine speakers in the doors, and it's a CD player. You can see there's a little rev counter here. There's a an energy gauge there just to tell you how many volts. Heating system, and even down here I've noticed there's a little plug. And if you just have a little look around there, you can see how fresh that all looks. 5-speed gearbox. The steering wheel's excellent condition. These seat covers are very handsome, corresponding there, and that's covering up seats which are really in excellent condition under here, but they look rather nice with these seat covers on, keeping the seats in good condition. Lovely carpet all the way through here as well. I'm sorry, I think these things are called curtains rather than carpets. Carpets tend to go on the floor, and you can see where it's all been refurbished in the back with this lovely upholstery. So let's have a little look. We go to this sliding door. I think I mentioned to you all these folders. Now this is all information, and there's lots and lots of it on the build, so vast amounts of data has been collected. And for example, if you need to read up about the toilet, That's how you keep the toilet in good condition, and doesn't matter what it is. Here's a series of booklets which explain everything. Caravan body, cassette toilets, windows, water supply. It doesn't matter what aspect to the van, there is information. And there's the Talbot Express manual, and there's some invoices in here. And then I've got this large box file in here, and here we go. I think I told you that there was quite a few invoices, and that's full up with invoices and £8,000 spent. And there's also a little bit of spare paint if touch-ups are ever required. This is a folding a folding sort of access stool which fits down here, so you step in and that's perfectly built to fit here. I'm just going to move this box file out the way and just explain that this lovely bright interior is actually a bed, and it's kind of in this area. You can either have it as 2 single beds. These seats fold flat and you can lay 2 singles, or you can incorporate between this area and the corresponding side here. You've got slats that work through there, and that's where you make up a double bed, and you basically just position all of these cushions into a bed, and then you have a double bed area, and it is possible to lay the other way, so you can actually have a double bed or 2 singles depending on the configuration. And all the surfaces are absolutely immaculate, and these are all brand new. The actual van's been just used the once for a tour and then presented to you literally as new. And the same I mentioned with the carpets. All the carpets throughout in the front are all new, and then all new wooden flooring in the back. So I have to take my shoes off to get in here. Obviously I feel terrible getting in without cleaning, so I'm just going to stand up and get inside the back, and then I can give you a little bit more of a tour. So now it is possible to actually have the top half here. When these were new, you also had an area here, and I'm just trying to show you where my hand is going round. You could put extra boarding across here, and then you could have a mattress that laid across, and then this would be making it a 4-berth, because there's an area up here where children can sleep. But you are only looking between sort of here and here, and I guess that must be maybe about 2 feet going down to very little, as you can see as it disappears over the back there. And here you can see as a part of that padded cushion, and here's the padded cushion here. So at the moment there's only probably enough to have 1 child laying across that way, but the previous owners rather liked the idea of just having this as a cubby hole, and you can obviously put all your luggage, and when you're on the move, everything can kind of live up this area. So as it is at the moment, it is configured for a 2-berth, but it wouldn't take much to convert it back into a 4-berth. It's just really a matter of having a board in the area where I'm stood and putting a mattress over it. But this is of course another part of the bed, which is where I'm stood at the moment. You put it all together, that's where you can make up either 2 singles or 1 1 double bed. And then some attractive curtains just come across here, and that shuts all that up for when you're on the move. Again, similarly, curtains at a high level, just to keep things discreet in the evenings, and you've got that both sides. All the roof is all been carpeted. It looks very, very smart, very, very plush. Now I'm going to take a seat down here, aim the camera upwards, and you'll see that there's a television. It's on a bracket, so you can move it around, adjust it as needed, because it is on one of these brackets. And there's another plug here. This is where you plug in the TV, and there's a remote control hanging on a hook, and there's a light that obviously when you come in you switch that on, and that turns your lighting circuit on. There's a light above here, there's another light here, can you see, just above here, and there's an on off which turns those 3 on. There is actually a main, you need to turn the 12-volt system on, and what you can hear start up there is that I've actually just got the heating system running, and then there's also a pump which is required, of course, for the sink, which I'm going to get to. There's a little fan switch here, and under here, can you see there's a little extractor fan for when you're cooking? So I'm going to turn that off. But when I do turn it on, you will get various lights come up, and that's what allows you to use the lighting circuit. Like, for example, some of these lights only actually work when you're plugged into the 240 socket, which you'd have on campsites, but some of them work just off the leisure battery, so you can actually get involved in wild camping. Now, this is the controller for the heat source. You can choose your temperature, and then you can just literally turn it on for be like a blower fan only, or you can have it with heat. That moves over to that side, and then again, I do need to have this 12-volt socket on, and you see if I go over here and I press that light comes on, and that's where you prime it, and this runs actually off a gas system, and you can hear it just about start in the background, or you can have it just fan only, and then that's the temperature sensor here. So this is all new, this heating system, and that works very nicely. I'm just going to turn that off again just because of the background noise, and I'm going to just point out as I see them. Here's another light fitting here. So this takes care of the front area of the cab, and this is probably where you would sort of sit down and relax in the camper van. If I lift up here, this is the area where I would put my table. Can you see there's a hole there, and there's a little plug in it, and the table lives in a little cupboard here. Can you see it's clipped up against the wardrobe door? And actually, as we are in here, I may as well show you, there's quite a sizable wardrobe and a hanging area, so you can physically just put clothes on a wardrobe, in a wardrobe here, and you can hang all those up. Here's some further instructions for using the camper van, and this is some nice little storage nets here, and here we are. There's some instructions about ventilation, which is quite important in these camper vans. Here, or I should say underneath here, you'll notice there's a little step, and beyond that little step there's a gas bottle, and this can lift up when the table's out, and it allows you to easily pop the gas bottle in and out. So hopefully you can see that. Now I'm going to go a little further upwards, and you can see these are smart little cupboards here, all in really good order, and I'm opening up another cupboard. Now this is a brand new water heater. Now this one only works off electric, so you do need to be on a campsite, plugged in here, and then you just set your required temperature, and I'm assuming there must be about 10 litres of water in this little water heater. Now I think I'd mentioned to you the aerial. You twist this, and then you can put that up, move this around as required, and then just keep a little eye out for the lights that appear here, and it tells you when you've got the best signal, and that's actually how you manage to get the TV working. That's quite a snazzy system, and that's all built in. Here's again some information about your water heater. This is talking to you about the position of where you need to put the aerial, and this is how the Propex heating system works. That's all handy notes, you can't really go wrong. And let's do that cupboard back up. Now the next area, which is this large door here, I'm sure you can probably guess what's in there, but let's have a look. Yep, that's a lovely fully refurbished area. Now all of this tiling board is brand new. This is the area where down on the floor here, the shower curtain. So this is actually a step-in shower, and this is all new as well. This is all new, and this is your shower, little light, and there's also a little abstractor fan that goes in here. This is a vanity unit and a pull-down sink. Let's use the other hand for that and show you how that works. Very smart, and I think you can guess that's the loo. And you just press a button here, and that's an electric flusher, and there's the loo here. Toilet seat, very efficient and totally on board. Separate loo, something you certainly don't see in the VW caravans. They might have a little porta potty, but not as discreet to use as a proper built-in shower and loo, and it's also clean and new, which is really nice. As I head towards the end of the camper, I've got again some handy little reminders. This is how we light the fridge, because the fridge is capable of running on electric, or it can run on gas, and it can run on 12-volt electric, or it can run on 240-volt electric. That's when you're on a site. And again, if you're running it on electric, if you're running it on gas, here's the instructions. If you need a little space, if you're doing more kitchen prep, I can just move that and down with this, and then this allows me to have a little extra prep space for my kitchen. And in fact, to do it properly, let me move that cushion out of the way. If I lift this up, this reveals, just under here, this reveals the sink. I'm going to move that over, and here we are with a lovely, again, all new sink unit. And if I turn the electric on and I put the pump on, I think I've done that right, hopefully I have, and then I should find that I got water available here and here. I think the pump's on, and as you can see, there's the everything, including the kitchen sink, literally, and of course that's hot and cold water. Now that's held up in place, so this is an area where you could prepare food or have a wash, bearing in mind there is also a basin in the loo. This fits down and sits on that little ledge, and now, as you can see, that's extra food preparation space right at the back of the van. Let's open that little curtain a little more. For direct ventilation, obviously I can open these back doors. I've got a fire extinguisher. There's a clock at the back, somewhere to hang your keys, and another one of these light fittings that turns on and off here. There's another socket here. There's a switch, and up here is where you can store, that's quite a nice dresser. You can store plates behind here and here, and you can see where cups and bits and pieces can fit nicely into here and hold them in place while you're on the move. And then that sits down, goes back and clips into place. If I can just show you what that looks like. Up here, this is the skylight. I can open it up, and then I can push this up, and that's direct air, or I can completely cover it over for probably nighttime use, or I can then pull it the other way, and that's like a fly screen, but I'm going to keep it in this closed mode, just like so. Okay, that's the back dealt with. Now I'm going to pop this little shelf back up here. For example, you could sit a little cooker or something on the back if you were at a campsite. This is a great location to put a little cooker or a microwave. Let's push that down like so. This is your sink. Sink. I think this is called a fridge. And lift that pin, open up the fridge. There it goes. And then you can switch it on if it's gas, or you can work it on electric here and here. And that's fully ventilated. Extra socket here, and I'm now going to shut this panel over the top of the sink. Moving on, here we have a cooker. I'm going to move that there and put that little heat shield up, and you can probably guess that's for preventing any cooking, spitting and going in this direction. That's all immaculately clean. And there's two burners. Now there's a little piece of cloth which sits on there to prevent any rattling as you're driving along. So I'm going to put that bit of cloth back here, and I'm going to shut that. Also, to show you how it works, let's pop down in here. There's a control knob. This is for the burners, for the grill and the other burner. And in here, this is your grill pan. So you can have a proper old fry up, and that's all the information you need to get that sorted out. Let's just pop that away. That's all very nice. All this wood is in immaculate condition, by the way. Here we have a cutlery drawer, and down at the bottom here there's a couple of shelves, and this is what you can use to put in perhaps pots and pans, additional plates, and it's quite a generous little cupboard. And these are all your isolation units. There's certificates, or there's information about showing all the habitation checks that have been done for this van, which is all about making sure the gas is safe, electric supplies and water. Here we are. This is a dustpan and brush area in here, but that's your electric control board, and that's another cupboard above it. I'll hopefully hold it so you can see it. And then I've got another little cubby hole, and that's underneath the sink, but it's all clever storage space. So even though it took me a little bit of time, oops, I've nearly forgotten, there's another one here. You pull that out, and apparently that's good for putting bottles of wine in. So that's another cubby hole here. If I were to now go and sit on this lovely little sofa, I can then turn the camera around, and it's down here. This is where the blower system works. So this is where, you're seeing it, this is where the warm air blows out and keeps this little camper toasty warm. And underneath here, these large boxes, I'm gonna just show you by lifting this. Can you see how that would fold out? And you fold all these pieces out, and in turn it makes up the bed. So everything you'd need to fold it into a bed is set out underneath here. This chair can turn around and face the other way, and then fold flat, and then actually form part of the bed. So it's all very clever and ingenious how this all works. I'm going to pop that little I say it's a very nice and comfy extra little chair here, and looks very attractive in this particular pattern. And then the same here, I'm going to show you that you've got a lovely padded, this is like a little two-seater sofa, and under here you can see there's a huge storage box that's completely empty, and you can put in items that you're traveling with. This is the step that I started off with, and you can see there's a nice little cubby hole down here. And even in the background under here, I just wanted to show you, you see there's all the cushions that are required to build up the bed. Curtains right the way across, so it doesn't take long to shut the curtains up, get it nice and dark in here to settle down for the night. Now, I rattled through as best I could, and I hope I've covered all the facilities of this camper. But just to recap, it does have a TV, it's remote control, it has an aerial in the roof. I've got full head height, I've got a couple of inches above my head in the back here, and even more so here, so plenty of room. I've pointed out the fact that we have a cooker and a grill, we have a fridge down the end, and we have a sink here, we have the shower and loo and basin all in here, and it is pretty spacious and all nicely refurbished and new. I better remember to turn that little light off actually. Abstractor fan, and all this equipment in here is new. I've got a mirror on the back here and somewhere to hang your towel. Very, very smart. Plenty of storage here. This is where you get to your aerial, and this is where we're going to find the table is stored nicely, and also your wardrobe area. I've got a cupboard at the bottom where the gas bottle is, and if you remember rightly, the water heater fits in the bottom half, and this is where I get to the aerial. So compact, but very, very well planned out, and so immaculately clean and freshly restored. It's pretty much like getting in a new old stock camper van from the late 80s, or in this case registered in 1990. So excellent condition, restored beautifully, and everything is so clean and fresh. This multifunction panel here is very clever. This is where I can check how much water I've got, and this is where I can turn on the pump. I can turn on the 12-volt socket. I'm going to switch it off again now. You've got fuses live in this area behind here, and as you can see, this is the auto sleeper Zig unit, which have been factory fitted. A little abstractor fan. Oh, I might have even forgot to show you that cupboard. That's another little cubby hole. So just 70,000 miles, as you can see. This is also clean, and you can also notice the door cards are all unmarked. The carpets throughout the front are all new. That wooden gear knob looks new as well. It's all been lovingly restored. The dashboard plastics are really good. I think there's a few extra gauges like the voltmeter there, the rev counter. Over here we've got oil pressure. There's a choke. Easy to use the wipers, indicators and lights. power steering, which is wonderful. You've got a electric fuel pump on this car, and I noticed there's a fuel regulator, so again it's been set up ever so well. I'm going to pop the bonnet and show you what it's like underneath there as well, because that's your joy. I do realize this video is going on a bit, but I think if as long as I capture all the information that I've been given, I think that's all very good for the new owner. Just look how good it is all down here. There's so much fresh painted metal everywhere. It's been an absolute joy to look around this vehicle, because everything is so refurbished and new and painted. It's really good. If I'm going to open the bonnet, I just need to get my finger in there and give it a pull. I'm pretty certain that's it anyway. There we are. Pull it upwards, not outwards, remember that. Extra lights up, extra mirrors up here for when you're maneuvering. Now let's go around the front, and let's hope it's one of those bonnets that you can open easily with one hand. I don't know if I'm going to get lucky today, but I can only try. Let's have a look, see if I can find where it is. I think I'm dead in the middle. Yes, it is. Okay, so what do we have here? Now, you can see that is a freshly rebuilt carburettor. It runs absolutely sweetly. You can see that this engine's super clean. There's a fuel regulator that I mentioned that works with the electric fuel pump. That's a little inline fuel filter. You can see everything's wax oiled. The back of those new light units. All of this wiring around the huge Lucas battery, and you can see all those electrics are all looking great there and kept so nicely. All this new pipe work, you can see all the new brake lines coming into the master cylinder, which is new of course. And there's your leisure battery, which is a big one, tucked away underneath the spare wheel, which is an odd location, but it saves you having to lay on your back. You have an extra where you can see this extra battery is kind of tucked in underneath here. You don't physically have to take out leisure batteries on a regular basis. They usually last at least 5 years, so you wouldn't be needing to pull that out too much. But there is a way of linking these two batteries together if you do need extra power and you're on a campsite and that's needed. All under here, can you see how that's all nicely insulated with heat reflecting panels and anti-vibration panels. I'm going to step back so you can just see how nice and clean and tidy it is underneath this bonnet as well. A nice rubber aerial here. A total credit to the gentleman who's restored this vehicle, and it really does mean that the next owner is going to have the peace of mind that he or she is driving a restored vehicle that's had a lot of money spent. £8,000 in restoration fees and parts on top of the price of the actual camper itself. It will come with a fresh 1-year MOT. It will be checked over in our own workshop, which we call a PDI, a pre-delivery inspection. I'm just going to have a little wander around the back and show you what it's like in the back. Of course it had to be locked, didn't it? Well, let's get the key. Actually, I don't know if I've been in the driver's side, but you can see ever so clean. And there's a nice handbrake conversion, so that's nice and easy to reach. I'm just gonna, oh dear, I've already taken the key out. It's in my pocket. That looks like the this is where you would this is the ventilation for the fridge. This is where you plug in when you get to a campsite. You open up this flap, and that's where you would plug in the 240 mains. And I'm assuming this is the water tank, which goes in at the back here, or it's either fuel or water. Make sure you don't mix those two up, because that could really ruin your weekend. Now let's find the correct key. Oh, I got lucky, first one. And let's open up inside here and just show you easy access from the back. Let me step back, so there is another way in and out, and that's through these rear doors. And as you would expect, nicely carpeted on the inside, both sides. Lovely plastic, all in excellent condition here. There's some checker plate And there's that new flooring throughout, that looks excellent. And there's that rubber clad step, which makes it very easy to get in and out. Now it looks as if there could be, I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like they might have even parking sensors down there. That's what they look to be. And yeah, very spacious, and with your foot on here, you step into the back and that's just another way in. Well, I think a final little look round. This is a 1990 registered Talbot auto sleeper version of the Harmony camper van. The Express was always a popular vehicle. The 2-litre petrol engine and a 5-speed gearbox, covering just 70,000 miles, fully refurbished in excellent condition. So we are happy to take in a part exchange. There is the potential that we can speak to one of our delivery partners to have this sent to you anywhere in the UK. We would need your postcode for that. Obviously, we suggest you come and have a look, come and have a drive and make sure this suits you. But it's had nothing but compliments since it's been here at Bradley James. People seem to love it. They can see the condition it's in. And I've got to say, it's probably the best 1990 camper van I think I've ever seen here. It's absolutely lovely. We do from time to time get a trade-in of a camper van, but I don't think we've ever had anything quite as special as this. Well folks, thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you would like to come and have a look at this, please get in touch and I'll be delighted to set up an appointment. That's Danny at Bradley James Classics, signing out.